Yes, ladies and gents, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a trade recap from today's lunch macro and the loss we took in the first day of macro. So let's get straight into it. So firstly, let me just get rid of all of this as I will not need it anymore. When we were backtesting yesterday, I literally said my biggest weakness at the moment is Mondays. Now obviously I could have won the first trade today and been like, oh, today is a new day, but we took a loss and I didn't rush the setup. However, this was a valid setup I would have taken every day of the week. Cool, so now that we have our levels marked out, we're gonna run this into the macro and we can see we had a manipulation higher to take out London highs. And if we look on the daily time frame as well, we've actually taken out the previous day high. So there is literally no reason as of now to be looking for longs. I mean, I've seen some people taking longs from market open, but that is personally not how I trade, and good for them, but that's not how I trade, and I didn't take longs. So once we've taken this point of London highs, the previous day high, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be looking for shorts here. So let's see if we get anything of interest. Forward now, we can see price is just building structure. And then right here, this is where I finally started seeing some sort of setup being formed. So we had a sweep of this short-term high, and trading around all-time highs, right? Again, it can be difficult, but when I see my setup being presented, that is a trade that I have to take. And it was clean in my eyes, and if I hadn't, I would have been more frustrated if I hadn't have taken it due to fear than losing the actual trade. We have a clear displacement on both NQ and ES, and we have this 1 minute bearish gap being left behind. So just a tap of this 1 minute bearish, I was in for shorts with my stop just at the short term high for literally 9 handles, with TP at this low for 60 handles. So let's see what we get. So we tapped into that 1 minute bearish, and then just like that, we were stopped out in 2 minutes. Not a problem. So minus 9 handles already on the week. And that was a trade that I would take every single time. Every single time. We've swept a key level of liquidity. My daily bias is bearish. My higher time frames are bearish. And we've got a sweep of a short term high with a clear displacement low on NQ and ES. We have a fair value gap formed on both NQ and ES. So that is a trade there that I'm going to take. Now inside the second day macro, I told the VIP server that originally I was looking for shorts, but we can see how price has come so far down already. If you were to target any point of sell side, and because volatility is so low, the trades are going to be hitting at like 10-20 points if you hit TP. So what I saw was I was not going to engage in the second day macro, not a chance. Not until I saw some sort of directional movement from Nasdaq or ES. So we have all-time highs right here, and we have this point of sell side right here. So at the moment, price is currently just stuck in a range, and I'm not going to be touching price until we sweep one of these points. We can see on ES that we swept all-time highs. So what that means is we have a higher time frame bearish S&T between NQ and ES, and we can now look for a position to go to shorts. So let's see what forms here. It has swept a short-term high in both NQ and ES, and we have had a displacement lower on NQ, but we have no real displacement on ES. And even if you did call this a displacement with this barcode looking at our price action, there's no fair value gap on ES as well to make this a clean setup. So I did not engage with price as soon as we tapped into this 1 minute bearish. You have to be patient at this point, and if price had taken this point of sell side, I was not going to get into this trade, but we didn't take it. And then what we finally saw was a displacement lower on ES with a fair value gap. So this original upper 1 minute bearish I wanted to look for price to tap into, and there we have it. So I literally top ticked this entry with my stop at the short term high for 9 handles, and then I originally did have my TP at this point of sell side, but I thought 23 handles, let me go for something a bit more, which makes the most sense. So I wanted to fill the range of this 15-minute/5-minute bullish gap for around 40 handles. Even though I should have really have gone for this point of sell side as it was a 1 to 2, but in this case I did basically get greedy. That is what it was. So instead I went for a 1 to 4 when a 1 to 2 is completely fine. Then at this first short-term low, we're going to be going break even. Likewise for ES. So let's see what we get. So already we can see that ES has taken that first short-term low, and I'm reducing my risk to break even. Now NQ would have literally already have hit this point and we would have hit TP. So we actually would have made more if we had taken it at sell side than what we did on this trade, because we got stopped out in a profit for around 10 handles, so being exactly break even on the day. So it literally does come to show that a 1 to 2 is what you need. And yeah, we would have been done in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes, but instead the trade got longed out to like 30 minutes. So let's see what the rest of the trade had done. So we came back higher. Then once we formed that second short-term high, then I trailed my stop just above this short-term high at 380. Price came lower and then eventually stopping us out, and you'll be able to see that price just runs higher, and that is why we trail our stops to 2 previous short-term highs, and everything that I do makes complete sense. And if it ran to final TP, great, but in this case it didn't. We got stopped out and we were protected, and that was how I was break even on the day, and potentially should have been up on the day, but I would have been up like 10 handles anyway. So it's not exactly a life or death situation here. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this trade recap. If you did enjoy it, then drop a sub, join the free Telegram in the bio if you want to see what we get up to day to day live. However, if you want to get inside the VIP server, then DM me on Instagram in the bio or on Telegram, whatever works. So I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.